What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sakina, and I'm back with another review. This is my review for Love Island USA, Season 8, Episode 22. I know y'all would love to see me on camera, but look, today is not the day. I have an extremely busy week, and so the best way for me to do this is to get it out and not be on camera and prep and all of that stuff. So let's go ahead and get into it, because honestly, I was highly anticipating this episode, but honestly, it really didn't give me too much, but it's still enough to talk about. So let's go ahead and get into it. It picks up right where it left off, fresh off of the recoupling where Casey chose Tiara over Anaya, and the ladies had to carry her off from the fire pit because sis just got to boo-hooing and doing entirely too much. And so she's talking to the ladies, and she's saying that Casey doesn't care to have another conversation with her and that he wrote her off. Hey, yes, screen bops is still going to be had even over voiceover. Casey just got back to the Villa Anaya. He never said that he wasn't open to having a conversation with you or anything like that. And this is why I'm saying she literally hears what she wants to hear, and then she runs with it. And then she goes and tells her homegirls. And then her homegirls go and defend her, and they looking foolish because she didn't even say anything that she told them. Like, it's just too much. And so she wants to go home. She's feeling stupid. And you hear Parmita and some of the other girls laughing and whatever. Parmita is saying that everybody's acting like they've been married and it's only been 2 days. And so Anaya is hearing that and like, oh my gosh, they're laughing at me. They're taking me as a joke. And then this girl has the nerve to break down to her motherfucking knees. Y'all, get your motherfucking ass up. Are you kidding me? When I'm telling y'all, the moment that she sat there right in front of them steps, while Mel is trying to like get her up and pour into her, it really irritated me. I would have yanked her up so motherfucking fast. Don't you in your life give anybody the satisfaction to see you lay out over a nigga that you barely even like? Like, let's be honest, and that's why I say I feel like she is doing this out of embarrassment, because at the end of the day, Casey did reassure you. He let you know that he was interested in you, X, Y, and Z. We did not get any of that until that man was out the door, until he was over at Casa. Now all of a sudden, you want to be with fine shit. Girl, you barely even complimented the man. Again, but we heard you. We know you were into Sincere. We know that you were into Sean. When Corbin came in, you said that he was light-skinned, curly hair, light eyes, every girl's dream. Bitch, who? Just like I said. He ain't every girl's dream because he ain't my dream. But see, that was nothing for you to give those type of compliments and show that type of attraction for those type of guys. We even seen you sneak off into the bathroom and tell Sean that you was rooting for him and all of that stuff. I've called out all of this stuff several times. And so at the end of the day, Anaya, I'm going to need you to stop, because this is too many antics for me. It pissed me off so motherfucking bad. And so you hear other people having conversations, and Bryce is saying how he felt bad for her, even though her and KC left off before the Casa on bad terms. And Zach is like, yeah, when we was at the Casa, the vibes were good. And you hear Parmita saying, that's because we're not 21 and 23. We thought that they were grown like us. Hey, Parmita, I'm going to need you to relax, bitch. Relax. Especially when y'all just got off of this high, intense fire pit. Simmer down. Too much. And so Melanie is talking to Anaya, and she's like, there's a whole life outside of here. Like, there's better men than KC. You're just feeling the way that you do now because you're in here. And she said that this is your biggest blessing. He did that shit to you, and he'll do it to her. Do what exactly, though? Like, y'all acting like he really did Anaya in, and it's just so confusing to me. But Melanie is like, this is a little ass dude. He doesn't matter. He doesn't even fit your life. He don't appreciate the type of woman that you are. Like, you'll have to build him up. You'll be having to play Build-A-Bear with this bitch. I was cracking up when she said that, but not for real. I mean, obviously, Casey did touch on that last week, too, talking about her background and things. We know that Casey he's kind of green compared to Anaya. Anaya comes from, some money. Her dad was in the NBA, and he's basically trying to get out the mud. So they do have two different lifestyles. And yeah, if he doesn't have it now, it might be hard to adjust with him seeing how more advanced you are in your life compared to him. And I know they had a conversation similar to that, him and Anaya, in Say Less, some episodes back. So yeah, you know that there is some type of differences. But I was like, you tell her, Mel, because at the end of the day, This is the type of shit that she needs to hear. And so Melanie is like, you're a grand woman and I thrive to be as composed as you are. You're not going to act a fool in front of these weird ass people. And then she was saying, I know it hurts now, but it's not going to hurt later. And even if we don't find love, we found each other. And I love when she sealed it up with that, because that is so true. Like the silver lining in this is that you do have a good support system, and you built a sisterhood with these women. And so you might not find exactly what you want in the house, but you found what you needed. And so in her confessional, Anaya is like, I never felt so disrespected and put off to the side. She upset with herself because she had faith in her connection. But at the end of the day, baby, the signs were there and you chose not to follow them. You definitely should have went with your gut, but that's the problem. Kenzie did the same thing. She ain't follow her gut and she ended up looking like a fool because Zach decided to move on. But I need everybody to understand that this is proof that Melanie is really Anaya's friend, because some people were saying that that's not really her friend. But look at how she just roll for that girl like that. Like, yeah, that's something that she needed. But I was so done with Anaya at that point. Like that, like I said, it was just entirely too much. And so we see Corbin, Caleb, and Sincere talking, and Corbin tells them that during the temperature challenge, it was live streamed, because again, all of the guys weren't aware of that. And so he's saying that Kenzie heard him say that he was kicking her to the curb, basically. And he said it does make him look like a shitty person, but it was high energy. He was with his bros. I need Corbin to stop acting like this was a one-off situation and he only said it that one time. The entire time you was in Casa, you kept saying that you was done with Kenzie. You haven't thought about Kenzie, anything like that. So this was not just a one-time thing. So he explains that he was giving someone that he actually really wanted, which was Parmita. And he didn't like that the girls started bashing her. They didn't start bashing her. Like, I don't know where he got that from. But we do see Parmita talking to the girls. And they were trying to explain to her that they never tried to come at her. Like, you defending it. At the end of the day, they've seen a different side of Corbin that she hasn't seen. And I was like, well, what side of Corbin did y'all see that Parmita hasn't? Because honestly, I think the only thing that we've seen that annoyed us, especially the audience, was the fact that he was always asking for kisses. And this is before he really got locked in with Kenzie. So once he got locked in with Kenzie, he really had his focus on her. Like, even when he was paired up with Mel, he really wasn't trying to do too much with her. So it was like, I ain't gonna say like he was necessarily like a menace in the Casa. And if he was, y'all refresh me, please. Okay, as y'all can see, it's been 23 episodes. So if he was, please refresh me, because I dead ass just don't see how he was necessarily like a problem. He wasn't like a sincere, but he was definitely a begging ass nigga doing too much, thirsty. And so Parmita was like, I understand what y'all saying. But men, they act like angels and they'll fuck you over. So she basically doesn't want to give Corbin the shit end of the stick. She wants to give him the benefit of the doubt and see where the things go. I understand that. Like, they end up apologizing and they move on. So we see Melanie and Sincere, and she's just like, hey, at the end of the day, she did explore two dudes, but they were not sincere, essentially. And so she said, hearing the guy say that she deserved better, he's coming off as a player. And with Corey, she told him things that she wanted, like her dream date, and he made that happen, something that Sincere has not. None of the guys have done anything special for any of the ladies in the villa, which is absolutely crazy to me. And so she said that she didn't want to like him to say fuck you, but, you know, she couldn't help how she feel. And so she started asking about Amora and how he was over there at Casa. He said that, you know, they kissed a few times. Y'all kiss every day, multiple times a day, so don't try to minimize it, because that's not what happened. And he said that he would never throw away what they had for something that lasted 3 or 4 days. Melanie is his person. That's a whole bunch of bullshit. And so he feels like she ruined the moment that they had around the fire pit when he came back to the villa. And he said, I was being gunned down by you and your friends. You acting like I walked in here with somebody. It doesn't matter again. And I meant to say that too. Last week, it was just so much going on that Mel really should have saved that motherfucking speech. Because at the end of the day, Mel, you took him back. That was a speech that you should have said if you was going to choose Corey. And he came up in there single. Like, that would have ate so bad. And I feel like Kata would have ate too had she chose Che, but still, you know, was interested in Zach. These men need to be shook up. The fact that they come into the villa and know that y'all ain't going nowhere and know that y'all going to be single, that's the reason why y'all looking so crazy right now. But anyway, she said that she is happy that he came in single, but she doesn't like to feel embarrassed. And she said that he needs to act like she's the only girl in the villa. And so in her confessional, she said that she feels good and she does feel like Sincere is telling the truth. Baby, that was so short-lived. I feel bad for my girl, but this is the life she chose. Moving on, Trinity and Bryce, I don't really give too much about them, but she did say that she connected with Corey, but it was hard for her to share a kiss with him. She wanted to see if there was something there. And Bryce said, you have no idea what was going on over at Casa. I said, here he go, dry snitching. He said Casey was trying to find out if there was anything going on with everybody. And Tierra was sleeping in the bed with him one night. Sydney was sleeping in the bed with him one night. And he had a free bed. I said, yeah, you had the recycling bed because, again, don't nobody want you. I think that Trinity and Bryce keep forgetting that they are the least desired in the house. And I'm not saying that Trinity is not desired, but I'm saying in this villa, nobody is really checking for you for real. So you and Bryce are the male and female version of each other. Like, y'all keep trying to make it seem like this is just the dream couple, and it's fucking not. Like, they're a fucking default. And I'm just so irritated with Bryce again trying to throw shade and trying to throw KC out there. Like, shut the fuck up. How about you worry about your pointless ass relationship? Like, I really want this man up out the motherfucking villa. Again, he's there for just as long as Austin was in season 7, and I'm getting annoyed. Moving on. Tierra and KC, they're talking, and he's saying that it was just so ridiculous how the ladies was piling on him, basically. And he said, if I feel a way towards somebody, then it is what it is. He feels like he was filling up Anaya's cup and reassuring her all the time, but he never got the same. And so he said that this is the first day that he's picking himself. And, you know, he's okay with that. Now, Tierra feels like her and Casey are Romeo and Juliet. Oh, girl, okay. Moving on to Zach and Kata. He said that he was attracted to Miss N-Word, who came out with a statement, by the way. I don't know if y'all seen that, but it's the typical non-black apology that people want to give out to us. Like, bitch, you know, you had no business saying that shit. You said it. You recorded yourself, so deal with the consequences. Scram, hoe. I know I'm laughing at myself. But Zach admits to kissing her 3 times and cuddle her in bed. And he felt like he had to experience it. And he brings up that him and Kata are not together. I said, look, Kata, you might not want to hear that, but it's the truth. You are not with him. And this man basically told you that he was open to any new bombshell. So you should have known that that's what he was going to go do. That's why I'm saying you should have been trying to enjoy Che and bringing him back, because this man's fresh off of sex told you, would you be mad if I get with a bombshell? Like, bitch, he couldn't even wait till the coochie was dry. Like, absolutely not. You should have brought that man back. And so he said that he knows that Che is her type, and he was annoyed that they won the challenge. Oh, well, bitch, get over it. I can't help that you over there with a basic bitch and y'all lost the challenge. Anaya goes to sleep in Soul Ties, and you see Trinity, Kata, and Melanie outside having a conversation, and they hear her weeping. I was cracking up. I said, wait, hold on. Not cracking up because she was crying, but just the fact that they didn't know that she was out there. I was like, hold up. And so Melanie goes over there to comfort her. Anaya says, what the fuck was Casey's speech? It was so disrespectful. How? Anaya, how was it disrespectful? And I'm saying this in all genuine curiosity because for me, I feel like she's equating her embarrassment to disrespect. I didn't hear him say anything out of order. Him saying that he chose himself. Are you deeming that as disrespect? Like, I don't know. Again, she hears what she wants to hear. So I was dead ass confused. And so Trinity and Kata was over there having a conversation, and they really feel like they wish that Anaya would have been open to have a conversation with Carl so she could explore both. But again, Anaya ain't got that in her. And a lot of people feel like she was mimicking the rest of the ladies who chose their OG men. And so she wanted to follow suit and do the same thing. But girl, you and him been on thin ice for a long time. You kept pushing him to explore, and he did that. So again, you should have chose him. And Kata was like, he's a bitch ass boy. And you can tell she wanted to say nigga. Like, even when Melanie was talking, my friend pointed out that Melanie wanted to call Casey a nigga so bad. And I'm like, exactly. Like, they really trying to keep it cute for this TV, but they really want to let that man have it. Bryce and Zach, they come back together. And they do this fake kissing thing. And I'm like, y'all are so annoying. I cannot stand them. And Bryce said that they really did the right thing, and they're glad that the girls chose them, and they sealed up their conversation with a hump. I said, again, y'all feeling like y'all made the right decision? I don't know, something about the conversation that Bryce and Zach had gave very calculated to me. Like, whew, we made it to the next round. Like, we made it back to the villa with our girls. Like, okay, yeah, we still on this mission to be, top two couples. Because remember, they think that they were stronger than Casey and Anaya. And I mean, obviously, y'all got more of a solid foundation. But again, Trinity and Bryce, y'all by default. I will not be accepting y'all as the winners of Love Island. I refuse. And when it comes down to Zach and Kata, I still don't want them to win because, again, I see strategy in Zach. And I love Kata, but no, they are definitely trying to be strategic in the way that they move. I see right through the two of them, and I'm not going for it. Anyway, it's the end of the night, and everybody's preparing for bed. But you see Gal and Dylan having a conversation, basically how they're both into Kenzie. I said, okay, the battle of the basic white man begins. Casey said that he does plan to talk to Anaya, but without her friends surrounded. And Kenzie is like, well, do you want to talk to her? And he was like, I don't know. So I'm confused. Do you want to talk to her, yes or no? So we see Tierra apologizing to the girls and to Trinity for calling her a little ass girl. And Trinity said our issue was with the guys. It was never with y'all. And so Melanie wants to know how Casey was acting in the casa. And Tierra spilled the tea and said, yeah, he was kissing Amora in the bed. So yeah, he wasn't telling everything. We see Corbin in the bed with Parmita, and she told him, if you don't go brush your motherfucking teeth with that badass mouth. I said, oh. And then Trinity asked Bryce while in bed, so do you feel like you're still open to exploring? Bitch, he has zero options. Stop playing with us. No, I say this too many times. Don't nobody want that, man. I'm going to calm the hell down. So Zach and Kata, the lights go out, and they getting down. I said, oh, my gosh. And then we see Zach say, I love you. Obviously, he was laughing, but I'm like, no. So it's the next day, and Anaya says that she feels better, but she doesn't want to talk to Casey, and she doesn't feel the need to have to hear the conversation. He can save his breath. I said, okay, let's table that. And so Trinity is telling Kenzie that she got French fried by Bryce. I'm not even about to use that term, baby. You got finger. I'm not about to play with y'all. And so Casey said that he ain't going to kiss no ass today. And we see that Gal made Anaya breakfast, which was really nice. And so Casey and Caleb are talking. And Caleb just feels like he knows that he has to have this conversation with her. But he wants to tell her how he feels. And the energy is just a little too hostile right now. And so he said that he does care about her and her feelings, but he has feelings too. And so we see Anaya talking to Sincere and Zach. And Sincere is like, did you like Carl? And she said, yes. He had some of the best conversation that she ever had. Girl gone. And she said she didn't want to bring him in the house knowing that she still had something going on with KC. She didn't want Carl to feel like the safe option. Oh, like Casey was your safe option? Oh, okay. And so Zach is saying that you did the right choice, even if it feels like you didn't, because you put yourself out there for somebody that you cared about. And Anaya was like, yeah, and he doesn't care about me. Shut the fuck up. Just because he chose himself does not mean that he does not care about you. And so Zach was like, he does care about you. He cared about you this whole time. It wasn't easy for him. Now, I ain't going to say it wasn't easy for him. Because I feel like once he got connected with Tierra, he already had his mind made up. We heard him say that a few times in the Casa that, yeah, he was leaving and bringing Tierra back. So I'm like, I don't know about all that. But she said that she wished she could go back in time. But she is happy that she chose the way that she did because she was vulnerable. But she is missing Carl. Now, she's saying all of this in her confessional. And I'm like, girl, yeah, you just missing a fallback. Gone. Now, she's telling Sincere and Zach that she does feel embarrassed and she doesn't feel beautiful or respected. She started to second guess herself and she's crying. I said, girl, go home. Go home. Go home. She said she wanted to go home. Go home, baby. Go home. Because at the end of the day, you ain't built for this shit. And so Sincere is like, you got to build yourself up. And we here for you. You know, if you feel like you need a shoulder to lean on. Child, the way she broke down on her knees, I want her out of there just because she did too much. So Corbin, Zach, Guile, Dylan, and Caleb, shoot, they all have a conversation. And basically, Corbin want to know how Anaya was moving while they were over at Casa. They're filling him in saying that Anaya was kissing Carl every day. And Guile thinks that he might have just been too nice for her. So in his confessional, Corbin is like, she should have picked him. Shit, you should explore him. I said, exactly. I ain't gonna say exactly, but yeah, if you felt so strongly about this man and you missing him and all of that, that's who you should have picked. And so Kata and Zach, they have a conversation. And Zach want to know more about Che. I said, oh, you really pressed about a nigga that wasn't chose. But She did find him attractive, and he was getting pissed off by that. She said that he had a lot of green flags. And so Zach is like, wait, so I don't have none? What's my red flags? And she was like, you got a few. And so instead of answering his question, she then asked him what her red flags is. Kata, why didn't you list his red flags? Because I want to hear him. Shit, I can give you one right now. One of his red flags is talking too prematurely. Saying shit like, I love you, and then saying that it's a joke the next day. Saying shit like, oh, wear clothes off, and then next day taking that shit back. Girl, that's a red motherfucking flag right there. He ain't committed. That's a red flag. Mean what you say and say what you mean. And so, obviously, they got down last night, and she was like, yeah, you said I love me a few times. And again, he said that he was joking. Red flag, red flag, red flag. Moving on. Melanie and Sincere. She's feeling down again because the whole Tierra thing. Tierra told her how he was moving in Casa, and she's feeling some type of way about it. He said that he regretted it every day. Shut the fuck up, Sincere. You're lying. Melanie's whole thing is you can't do it and regret it. She hates the fact that he's using sorry as a band-aid, and it's really starting to affect their connection. And so she's bringing up how some of the men in the villa were operating in Casa. Like Bryce, he wasn't with nobody. Don't use Bryce as an example because he was not sought out. And so he admits that he hasn't respected her boundaries. In his confessional, he's going to say, it's always sincere when you just told me that you explored 2 connections. Bitch, not in the way that you were exploring. It was not in the same way that you were exploring. And so that's the thing that I have with Sincere. He's always looking to point the finger at somebody instead of just taking accountability without trying to put something else on somebody. Like, shut up. And so Trinity and Mel have a conversation because Melanie walks off crying. Trinity goes to check on her, and she said that she should be happy that he came in single, but she's still messed up about what Tierra said about him being in bed with Amora. And so she said, it's not making me feel good. He keeps giving her the same speech of wanting to do better and then does the same shit again. And so at this point, she keeps comparing herself to Trinity and Kata's connections. Biggest mistake. And in her confessional, she said that she started to look at him differently. Like, yeah, you really starting to fuck up the connection that you got with her because you a constant fuck up, Sincere. And so we see Sincere talking to Zach about the situation. And I can't stand when Sincere acts confused. Like, you should already know why she's pissed. You know exactly why she's pissed. You're just okay with fucking up and feeling like, yeah, you can smooth it over later. And that's the issue. Zach is saying that Melanie ruined the moment at the fire pit with the recoupling by going off on him. I mean, yeah, I do feel like she could have kept that speech, but at the end of the day, she got that shit off her chest and it needed to be said. And so Sincere feels like she keeps going back to him kissing in bed with Amora. And I'm like, see, that's the thing. You're minimizing the intimacy. You didn't have to do that. Again, this was all a choice. And so he was like, was I doing a little bump and grinding? Yes. But it didn't go past that. I said, this man is literally a cheater. Do y'all see his rationale? Yeah, and let's not forget, this is the same man who feels like it's okay to be texting other people while you're in a relationship. Melanie chopped his ass. And so Anaya and Tierra, they have a conversation. And Anaya wanted to pull her for a chat to basically tell her, it's not you I have a problem with, it's KC. I don't have no beef with you. I felt like the way he handled me was very disrespectful. And I'm going to talk my shit about him. But again, it don't got nothing to do with you. And as a woman, Tierra understands. She said that she does not want to hurt Anaya. She wants them to have a connection. And she actually apologized to Anaya for making her feel some type of way. In her confessional, Anaya was saying that she didn't want Tierra to tiptoe around the villa. And she wants her to feel welcomed. And so Tierra is saying that, you know, I wanted to bond with you so bad. We both talk. We do volleyball. Like, you know, she really wanted to have some type of relationship with her. I don't know how close y'all are going to be because literally y'all are tied to the same man. So I'm sure y'all can be cordial, but I don't know if y'all going to be as cool as you might want her to. And it might be one of those keep your enemies closer type of thing. Because again, Tierra got a little crazy in her. So like, I can respect this conversation, but don't try to be too buddy with her all like that. Because I still got my good eye on Tierra. But you know, she's tolerable right now. Moving on to Corbin, Casey, and Sincere. Corbin basically fills the guys in on how Anaya was moving around the casa according to the casa men. And Casey is like, okay, she explored. And, you know, she had the perfect match. In his confessional, Casey is like, you was playing the game just as much as I was. I just picked the decision that it wasn't you. I said, well, I don't really think that it was as hyped as the Casa guys made it to be. I mean, I can't say that because they was there. I wasn't. But I just feel like, again, how close were her and Carl? Because we didn't see that. We literally seen like 2 conversations between the 2 of them, and it wasn't even all of that. Their interactions were just like very basic, and like, where was the connection? Because I don't see it. I forgot to give y'all a disclaimer. If I'm talking weird, like my mouth is inflamed, my tongue is irritated, it's itchy, and my mouth is dry. Anyway, Jaden gets a text, and it's time for a challenge. It's a cake challenge, boys versus girls, and it's hosted by Meg Thee Stallion. So it's basically a musical chairs with cake twerk off type of situation. Meg Thee Stallion, I said no. I hated her unit and her makeup. She was giving drag, and I didn't like the look. Like, I don't know. Y'all could have did something better. I liked her look last season. But I'm going to skip right over some of this stuff because I felt like some of this was just too drawn out. When it came down to the ladies in their musical chairs, Tierra won. And when it came down to the men in their musical chairs, KC won. I said, Meg set that up for the black people to win. I said, period, because ain't no way in hell one of them white islanders was about to win a twerk off. Bitch, please. So it's round 2. And basically the men have the ability to pie or cake a woman in the face after saying what this woman has done to piss him off. Zach pies Trinity in the name of Bryce. Basically like, get off my man type shit. I said, oh yeah, he definitely means that. Caleb pies Parmita for leaving him at Casa and going over with Corbin. Dylan cakes Anaya for Carl. Justice for Carl, child, gone. Bryce pies Kata over Paradise Cove. Basically, him feeling like he was about to get a threesome going on. No, bitch. Not you still mad about that. Sincere pies Jen and basically says that Jen is a fly on the wall. She always got something to say when it don't got nothing to do with her. And he was like, I'm sorry, she's brand new. This is a family. I said, damn, she not part of the family yet? Shit. Okay, do you not like her because she was clocking you with Soul? I don't know, but I said, oh, I thought he was about to pie Trinity. I said, not Jen, that was a curveball. Moving on, KC pies Trinity, basically because she don't know how to be quiet. Then he gonna throw the cake at her and miss. I said, bitch, how the hell he missed? So then Meg Thee Stallion is asking KC, do you think that you could have explored a little different and still been able to respect Anaya? And he was like, well, what did I do that was disrespectful? It was more so the shady shit that you was saying in Casa. Like, you was slick trying to talk shit low key. Like, would you say he was trying to talk shit? He said he don't have anything in common with her. I think it was just stuff like that. Like, sometimes he was just like, oh yeah, when I come back, my stock is up and I'm getting more leeway than her and all of that. Like, shit like that was just kind of like, you're becoming a little obnoxious with this. But yeah, he was kind of, slightly switching up when it came down to her.
Honestly, y'all, they use the word disrespect so many times in regards to KC and how he treated Anaya. It slick started to make me feel like, okay, well, maybe he did disrespect her. Like I said, yes, he was kind of throwing a little shade in Casa, but it got to the point where I started questioning my damn self. Like, at the end of the day, I still did not see the disrespect.
And so Corbin ends up pieing Kenzie because he said that her reaction when he came back to the Casa threw him off. What? Again, why you keep trying to act like you was just super nice and respectful and all of that? You literally kept saying that you forgot about her and everything. Like, he admits that it was shitty, and she said that she did feel disrespected. And so Meg told all of them that it felt like the men were trying to put the Villa girls down to big up the Casa girls. Yes, that's exactly what it felt like. I'm glad she spoke on that because, yeah, I didn't really like that. Especially with some of the Casa girls feeling like they knew the Villa girls on top of that. Like, no, I ain't like how some of them was moving, especially Corbin. Well, it's the girls' turn to get their revenge back on the guys, but this time they got a frosting gun. And so Jaden gets got for not stepping up with Jen. I said, oh, okay, the white girls uniting, all right. Now, KC, I said he definitely about to get frosted the most. And true enough, he did because it was Kata's turn and she got his ass. And then Anaya's like, why are you turning your head? Because he was turning his head. Like, you think somebody is like willingly wanting to get frosting in their face? Like, girl, what? And so Parmita got Corbin to let him know, do not play with her. I said, okay. Kenzie got Corbin too because he chose to apologize with a cake to the face And Tiara got sincere because she felt like he was two-faced and she fucked with Melanie. I said, yep, he is two-faced and he toxic. I said, come on, let's start calling this shit out, because at this point, Sincere need to be getting called out just as much as KC, Corbin, and everybody else. And so Sincere in his confessional was saying, I mean, I tell the truth, but I don't tell the whole truth. So maybe that's where she's talking about the two-faced. Shut the hell up. The fact that you can even admit that is crazy to me. You're a liar. And so Melanie ends up doing Corbin and Casey. I said, period. Because I told my friend that. I said, why the fuck they ain't hitting both of them together? Especially because they sit next to each other. Thank you, Mel, for coming through. And last but not least, you already know they were saving Anaya for last. They even moved her a little closer to get to KC to make sure that aim was right. And so she got on KC. She said that she never felt so disrespected, put to the side, not checked up on in her entire life. And in her confessional, she was like, you're going to feel all the shit that you put me through. I said, what? What did he put you through? Did she call him a bitch to his face? I said, damn. Anaya, girl, you doing too much, because what did he really put you through for real? Like, dead ass. You acting like you got Sincere out of the situation. Like, girl, you done made some shit up in your head, low-key. Just as far as, like, you were not in a toxic relationship. It'll be different if Mel was saying this, but you didn't have that same experience. And so, like, confused. And so this is why I said let's table what Anaya said when she woke up the next day in Soul Ties. Because she said that she didn't want to talk to Casey. She felt like he'll be wasting his breath, X, Y, and Z. But then when it comes down to this challenge, you now want to say you never feel so disrespected, so put off. He didn't check on you. Your words said that you did not want him to check. You see what I'm saying? Anaya, you say one thing and mean another. This is yet another case where it's proving the point of you being inconsistent and not meaning what you say. Now I was saying you want to be the victim because he didn't come and check on you. But earlier you was telling your homegirls you didn't want him to. But yet you keep bringing that up. Damn, like, I feel like if he would have came up to you, you would have tried to play him on some Kenzie shit. How Kenzie was with Zach. So I don't want to hear all of that. She is so exhausting when it comes down to that, y'all. I really be trying with Anaya, and I really be wanting her to win. I do. It's her acting like he really just did her so wrong for me. Like, it hurts. I get it. It hurts. But girl, that man did not dog you. He did not dog you. Like, do you want to be dog walked? I'm starting to feel like that's the type of experience she wants to have. Girl, you could be like Melanie. Trust me. It could be a whole lot worse in here if you really wanted to go down that way. Send her home. Like I said, send her home. Anyway, it's the third round of this damn cake game. And it's a pie eating contest or cake eating contest with Zach and Kenzie. So they eating the cake. And Bryce talking about, I've seen and felt that mouth. Shut the fuck up. I'm so tired of them. And so Zach ends up getting to the end of his cake. And he finds a note that says, revenge is sweet. And again, we know that America had been voting to get the Casa boy or girl back into the villa. And of course, they voted exactly who I thought they were going to vote. They voted Carl and Amora to come back. Melanie did not look pleased at all. And I'm not pleased at all with any of the Casa people coming back because nobody wanted them. Nobody wanted them. That's why they're not here. Let's bring in some new bombshells. What the fuck is the point of this? And so we already know that Sincere about to get his day. He about to get exposed. And at this point, I don't know. This episode was lame to me. Anaya really irritated me. Sincere annoyed me to no end. Like, yeah, let's move on. I'm interested to see how tomorrow is going to be, or tonight, is going to be. But, yeah, Anaya, I want Anaya to go home. I feel like there's so many people that should have been gone by now. Kenzie should have been gone by now. Bryce should have been gone by now. Anaya need to leave now. And then y'all got the nerve to bring back some damn Casa rejects. Now me crashing out to the point where my phone crashed. My phone died. Anyway, y'all, that was the end of the review. I am done. Make sure that y'all like, comment, subscribe, and hopefully I'll be on camera tomorrow. But I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.